Hello, Dave Kenworthy here, 11:30, 3rd of the 10th, 2022. I'm going to try and keep this brief. Giza Great Pyramid, presentation 2. The base represents the 366.66 recurring day solar year. Well, we've proved that in the previous presentation, but now we're going to put it in the context of Stonehenge and Alexander Thom's megalithic yard. And I've spoken to a few metrologists about this. In particular, Larry Paul, who's very interested in this. And he wanted me to do a talk with him about this, but I prefer to do this video, and I hope you're watching, Larry. Now, what the ancients knew, when they used the equilateral triangle, is that when they drew a circle on the apothem of the triangle, that's this line here, the vertical line that splits the circle into two right-angled triangles, they knew that when this was one, this was one megalithic yard, this circumference. And at Stonehenge, this is 330 feet. This is the Aubrey circle, and its circumference is 330 megalithic yards. Stonehenge, 330. Now, when this represents 330, this circle represents 1/4 of the Great Giza Pyramid base. So, that's 440 cubits, not megalithic yards. But the relationships are what are important, not the actual units that were used by the ancients. And this is 4:3. So this circle is 4/3 of this one. So this is representing 1/4 of the Giza base, this circle, but the Giza base is a square. And this is representing the Aubrey circle. And this is the square root of 3 in an equilateral triangle. This line is produced by this being 1, this being a half, and that then is half of root 3, this line here. And it's a well-known mathematical relationship, this, that's been proved. And I'll just show you what happens at Stonehenge and Giza. And then I'll go through the mathematical proof very quickly. So we've got 440 at Stonehenge and 330 at Giza. 440 times 4 is 1760, and there are 1760 cubits. So we're using cubits at Giza. We're using megalithic yards at Stonehenge. You can use megalithic yards at Giza as well. But the unit of translation at Stonehenge is 3.6 megalithic yards. And that's 9.792 feet. So let's just do that again. .6 times 2.72 is 9.792 feet. And when we divide that into that, we get 91.666. Multiply it by 4, we get 366, which is the Giza base, what it represents. So the Stonehenge Aubrey circle, when the unit is 3.6 megalithic yards, is representing this number of 366 solar days in a solar year. And the proof is that this radius is that divided by root 3. Well, this is 1. So 1 divided by the square root of 3, which is that, is 1 over that, which is that. 0.57735. Now this one, this radius here, we can use this Pythagorean triangle. We know that's 1, we know that's a half, so that is the square root of 1 squared, and subtract the square root of a half squared from it, which a half squared is a quarter, so it's 0.75 that we get. So we want the square root of 0.75, and then we want half of that because that's giving us the full amount, and we want the radius. So we take the square root of 0.75, and lo and behold, it's half of the square root of 3. And we divide that by 2, and we get 433013, and divide it into this amount that we've calculated here, and we get the relationship 4/3 proved, something that the ancients knew. So Stonehenge can be reconciled to Giza through root 3 and the equilateral triangle. So the next lecture we're going to go on to historical metrology, the relationship between degrees, cubits and the GGP base, and I'll be using this same spreadsheet. I haven't got enough time to go through it. I thought I might have. I'll make that Great Giza Pyramid 3 presentation. So thanks for listening. Just one final point. That's 1 megalithic yard. When you know this length here is 1 foot. And when that's 1 foot, this circumference here is 4/3 megalithic yards. They knew it. They could draw that diagram anywhere on the ground. They could draw this and know that this circumference would be 1.33 megalithic yards. So if they put 330 feet in there, they were putting 330 megalithic yards in there and 440 megalithic yards in there. And 440 just happens to be the side of the Great Giza Pyramid in cubits. That's it. Thank you.